ようこそ私のリビングルームへ。ごゆっくりどうぞ。Welcome to the living room for language learners. Please sit back and relax while enjoying the sound of my podcast. Hey, I'm Matsu. What's yours? That's such a beautiful name. I guess I'll introduce myself first. I live in the United States of America, and I'm currently a university student. How old am I, you say? Well, that's up to you to decide. I'm actually majoring in Japanese. Now, I know what you're thinking. Japanese? Why? Well, you'll just have to come back tomorrow to find out. My dreams are to fully understand my religion, Islam. I also aspire to become a pilot, have many skills and certifications in the future, and also become conversationally fluent in as many languages as possible. How about you? Now that we know each other, I'd like to share my reasons for starting this podcast. The name idea came from something close to my heart, my family. The funnest times we have together are in the living room. We learn from each other, debate, play games, and connect in the living room. I believe that languages are best learned through community. Without the communities that I've joined to learn Japanese, I wouldn't be as confident as I am today. So I want to create a living room for all of my language learning family to connect through the power of communication. In this living room, I'd like to share useful grammar tools for conversation that I've learned through my studies. There are also lots of fun ways to learn languages, like tongue twisters and games that I'd like all of us to enjoy. And I hope to invite native speakers of the target languages that I'm studying into our living room to interview about their culture. That way, we can all have some listening practice in our target language, learn new vocabulary, and facts about different cultures and opinions. Learning languages doesn't have to be boring, you know. So I want to have fun learning different languages and cultures with everyone in the living room. Before wrapping up, I wanted to let everyone know that this is not just a Japanese language podcast. I plan to use this podcast to learn many languages, but I'll be learning Japanese for the next few months. Also, I'm not a professional language teacher, so I won't be explaining grammar rules in depth. Feel free to check out my Instagram page at thelivingroom411. I love to be corrected because you learn from your mistakes, so feel free to DM me if I make any mistakes in my target language. Also, if you have any episode suggestions, questions, or comments. This podcast will consist of different segments. The first segment will be about how I learned Japanese. I'll be sharing my experiences with learning a foreign language, as well as the resources I've used and the recommendations I have for learning Japanese. So please look forward to it coming soon. I'm super excited and have many fun ideas for this podcast. I hope that you'll benefit from all that I learned throughout my experiences of learning new languages. Like Mulan said, one alone is not enough. You need both together. So I hope you'll join this family in the living room for language learners, where we learn languages the way they should be, through community.